Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our new topic discussion about organizational behavior. Before I proceed to the proper discussion, let me introduce its course overview as well as its learning objectives. This course will introduce the basics of the organizational behavior or OB and how it contributes to the growth of the economy of the Philippines. Here are some objectives to be discussed. First, the definition of organizational behavior. Second, the human behavior in organizations. Third, the nature of people. Fourth, the nature of organizations. And fifth, the foundation of individual behavior. The learning objectives. To define the definition of organizational behavior and its significance. To discuss the human behavior in organization. To know the nature of people and the nature of organizations. And to know the foundations of individual behavior. So what is organizational behavior or OB? Organizational behavior is the field of study that investigates the impact that individuals, groups, and structure of on behavior within organizations for the purpose of applying such knowledge towards improving an organization's effectiveness. Examples of these behaviors include issue selling, taking initiative, constructive change-oriented communication, innovation, and proactive socialization. Organizational behavior is the study of human behavior in organization settings, the interface between human behavior and the organization itself. Organizational behavior is the study of organizations and of the collection of people within them. Together comprises the field of organization behavior. This area of study examines human behavior in a work environment and determines its impact on job structure, performance, communication, motivation, leadership, etc. Organizational behavior draws from other disciplines to create a unique field. For example, when we review topics such as personality and motivation, we will again review studies from the field of psychology. The topic of team processes relies heavily on the field of sociology. Definition of organizational behavior. Organization are social systems. Organization is a combination of humanity and technology. Yes, a social system is a complex set of human relationships interacting in many ways. Within a single organization, the social system includes all the people in it and their relationship to one another and to the outside world. An organizational behavior can be classified into four areas: people, structures, technology, and environment. For example, when people join the organization to accomplish the goals or objectives, some kind of structure is required. They use machinery, gadgets, and technology to achieve the organizational goals. At the same time, they are influenced by external environment.
The study of organizational behavior gives insight in how employees behave and perform in the workplace. It helps us develop an understanding of the aspects that can motivate employees, increase their performance, and help organizations establish a strong and trusting relationship with their employees. In the business world today, organizational behavior is an essential tool for managing effective teams, and it helps to understand and predict human behavior in an organization. It studies on how organizations can be structured more accurately and how several events in their outside situations affect organizations. Organizational behavior has roots in psychology and sociology as well as business, and is often a topic of interest for humans, relations specialists, and business managers. According to Investopedia, organizational behavior is the academic study of the ways people act within groups. Its principles are applied primarily to attempt to make businesses operate more effectively. These are the importance of organizational behavior. First is responding to globalization. Responding to globalization can be described as a process by which the people of the world are unified into a single society. This process is a combination of economic, technological, social, cultural, and political forces. Responding to globalization increase of foreign assignments, working with people from different cultures, overseeing movement of jobs to countries with low-cost labors, and adapting to different cultural and regulatory norms. Second is managing workforce diversity. Important trends in workforce diversity are increasing number of women, ethnic minorities, physically and mentally challenged people in the workforce requires a more flexible set of policies and practices. Workforce diversity is the varieties of experiences and perspective which arise from differences in race, culture, religion, mental or physical abilities, ancestry, age, gender, marital status, and other characteristics. Third, improving quality and productivity. There are 6 steps to improve productivity and quality management in organizations. Step 1. Analyze processes. Focus not on the people who do the work but the tasks that they perform. Step 2. Align business processes with other companies in the sector. Find out how other competing companies organize and perform certain jobs to possibly integrate this and therefore lead to improvement. Step 3. Develop performance measures. Benchmark current processes to identify problems, predict future outcomes, and measure productivity gains through key performance indicators for the industry. Step 4. Build a quality test in processes. Experiment during the process and not just at the end, when it becomes more expensive to repair. Step 5. Use business strategies to improve productivity and quality management. Determine the root cause of problems and can be ready to perform design interventions to improve or optimize processes. Step 6. Pay attention to feedback. Measure the productivity and quality management gains related to customer satisfaction increases. Fourth is responding to labor shortage. Responding to labor shortage. In times of labor shortage, managers will need sophisticated recruitment and retention strategies. A labor shortage can be caused by a turn in economic conditions where there is a shortage of skilled workers for a given industry or overall job market. Shortages can also be caused by a mismatch in skills, poor compensation, geographic location, or ineffective recruitment by employers. Fifth, improving customer service. Improving customer service is important because it can help you to increase customers' loyalty, increase the amount of money each customer spends with your business, increase how often a customer buys for you, generate positive word of mouth about your business. 6. Improving people skills. It is the ability to explain and predict the behavior of people at work. It is important for managerial activity effectiveness. Improving people skills are essential to managerial effectiveness, and OB provides the concept and the theories that allow managers to predict employer behavior in given situations. 7th, empowering people. Empowering people have 3 levels. First, enabling employees to make more and bigger decisions without having to refer to someone senior. Second, involving employees in taking responsibility for improving the way that things are done. Third, encouraging employees to play a more active role in their work. Empowering people is the key to building a high performance team. Once you empower people by learning how to motivate and inspire them, they will want to work with you to help you achieve your goals in everything you do.
So Now, let's discuss what is human behavior in organization. So, first, let's define what is human behavior. So, human behavior is the potential and expressed capacity, whether mentally, physically, and socially, of human individuals or groups to respond to internal and external stimuli throughout their life. While specific traits of one's personality, temperament, and genetics may be more consistent, other behaviors change as one moves between life stages, from birth to adolescence, adulthood, and for example, parenthood and retirement. So behavior is also driven in part by thoughts and feelings, which provide insight into individual psyche, revealing such things as attitudes and values. Human behavior is shaped by psychological traits, as personality types vary from person to person, producing different actions and behavior. So, human behavior is studied by the social sciences, which include psychology, sociology, economics, and anthropology. Organizational behavior, or OB, is the study of human behavior in organizational settings, wherein the interface between human behavior and the organization itself. So, organizational behavior researchers study the behavior of individuals primarily in their organizational rules, wherein one of the main goals of organizational behavior is to revitalize organizational theory and develop a better conceptualization of organizational life. And as a multidisciplinary field, organizational behavior has been influenced by developments in a number of allied disciplines, including sociology, psychology, economics, and engineering, as well as by the experience of practitioners. So these are 8 objectives of organizational behavior that show OB is concerned with people within the organization. So the first one is job satisfaction. Second, finding the right people. Third, organizational culture. Fourth, leadership and conflict resolution. Fifth, understanding the employees better. Sixth, understand how to develop good leaders. Seventh, develop a good team. Eight, higher productivity. The first one, job satisfaction. So, understanding organizational behavior can shed light on the factors that can foster or hamper job satisfaction, such as physical settings, organizational rewards, and punishments or work group characteristics. So, job satisfaction in turn can foster higher productivity and reduce turnover, while providing more leverage for the recruitment of top talent. So the second one is finding the right people. So organizational behavior can help find the right mix of talents and working styles required for the achievement of the task at hand. This can assist in deciding who to include in a team or task force, as well as in deciding who to promote to a leadership position or even the ideal profile for new hires. The third one is organizational culture. So, organizational behavior is useful for understanding and designing the communication channels and leadership structures that can reinforce organizational culture. So, as rapidly evolving business environments force organizations to adapt, entering, for example, into global markets or utilizing virtual workforce, organizational behavior can assist in maintaining a clear identity without losing flexibility and adaptability. So, the fourth one is leadership and conflict resolution. Organizational behavior can assist in fostering leadership, proactivity, and creative problem solving. When creativity is allowed, the divergence of opinions is unavoidable, but organizational behavior can provide the leadership and the arbitrage dynamics required for turning conflicts into constructive idea exchanges. The fifth one is understanding the employees better. So, organizational behavior studies help us understand why employees behave the way they do, and also thereby predict how they are going to behave in the future. And the sixth one is understand how to develop good leaders. So, organizational behavior patterns help in predicting who among the employees have the potential to become leaders. And also, they also teach us how to mold these employees so that their leadership potential is utilized to its fullest. The seventh one is develop a good team. An organization is only as good as the weakest member of its team. All members of the team work in coordination and must be motivated to work together to achieve the best results. The teamwork theories of organizational behavior are an essential tool in the hands of any manager. And the last one is the higher productivity. All of this leads us to the most important goal of achieving the highest productivity in realizing the visions and goals of any organization. If implemented well, the organizational behavior principles help in motivating all the members to do their best. The levels of motivation can be the difference between a good and a bad result. Organizational behavior has so many objectives by which it serves the organizations, individuals, groups, and in a word of all the stakeholders.
Hi, I am Jenny Moreno Cadallo, BSBE 2, major in marketing. So this time, I will be discussing the 10 fundamental concepts of organizational behavior. First is individual differences. From the word itself, every individual in the world is different from others. Every member of an organization has its own way of behavior. So it is important for managers to understand individual differences because they influence the feelings, thoughts, and behavior of employees. Second is perception. It is a unique ability to observe, listen, and conclude something. It is believing in our senses. In short, the way we interpret things and have our point of view is what we call perception. Perception is an intellectual process of transforming sensory stimuli to meaningful information. It is the process of interpreting something that we see or hear in our mind and use it later to judge and give a verdict on a situation, person, group, etc. It can be divided into 6 types of sound, speech, touch, taste, and other senses, and of the world. It permits people to understand other individuals, groups of their social world. There are different stages of perception. Those are receiving, selecting, organizing, and interpreting. Third is a whole person. As we all know that a person's skill or brain cannot be employed, we have to employ a person. Skill comes from the background and knowledge. Our personal life cannot be totally separated from our work life, just like emotional conditions are not separable from physical conditions. And fourth is motivated behavior. It is the behavior implanted or caused by some motivation from some person, group, or even a situation. In an organization, we can see 2 different types of motivated employees. First, positive motivation. It is encouraging others to change their behavior or say, complete a task by luring them with promotions or any other profits. Second, negative motivation. It is forcing or warning others to change their behavior, else there can be serious consequences. And fifth is the desire for involvement. So every employee is active seeking opportunities to work involved in decision-making problems. They hunger for the chance to share what they know and to learn from the experience. So the organization should provide them a chance to express their opinions, ideas, and suggestions for a decision-making problem. 6 is the value of the person. Employees want to be valued and appreciated for their skills and abilities, followed by opportunities which help them develop themselves. Next concept is human dignity. Every person has a deep need to be respected. As a human being is a core wish. Respecting the human dignity of another person means recognizing his or her human presence and relating to them in a way that enhances their individual being. And 8 is organizations are social system. From sociology, we learn that organizations are social systems. Consequently, activities therein are governed by social laws as well as psychological laws. Just as people have psychological needs, they also have social roles and status. Their behavior is influenced by their group as well as by their drives. In fact, two types of social systems exist side by side in organizations. One is a formal system and the other is the informal social system. Next concept would be mutuality of interest. Every organization needs people and people need organizations to survive and prosper. Basically, it is a mutual understanding between the organization and the employees that helps both reach their respective objectives. And lastly, holistic concept. When the fundamental concepts of organizational behavior are placed together, a holistic concept emerges. This concept interprets people, organization, relationships regarding the whole person, the whole group, whole organization, and the whole social system. It takes across the board view of people in organizations to understand as many as possible of the factors that influence their behavior. And now I will also discuss the 4 key forces affecting organizational behavior. First is people. That system consists of individuals and groups may be large and small, formal and informal. Groups are dynamic. Group form, change, and disband. Since the organization is a combination of a group of people, managers must handle the people in the right direction. This is very challenging to guide people or employees who have different educational backgrounds, talents, and perspectiveness. So managers must understand, predict, and control the people. Second is structure. They are related structurally so that their work can be effectively coordinated. Because there is no organization can be successful without proper coordination. Many organizational structures have become flatter. This downsizing and restructuring have occurred as a result of the pressure to lower cost while remaining competitive. And third is technology. The great benefit of technology is that it allows people to do more and better work, but it also restricts people in various ways. It has costs as well as benefits. And lastly is environment. So numerous changes in the environment create demands on organizations. Citizens expect organizations should be socially responsible. New products and competition for customers.
Contributing disciplines to the organizational behavior field. The major disciplines are psychology, sociology, anthropology, social psychology, political sciences, and economics. Psychology. Psychology is perhaps the first influence on the field of organizational behavior because it is a science of behavior. A psychologist studies almost all aspects of behavior. Psychology deals with studying human behavior that seek to explain and sometimes trains the behavior of human being and other animals. Sociology. The major focus on sociology is on studying the system in which individuals follow the rules. The focus is on the group dynamics. They have made the greatest contribution to organizational behavior, or the OB, through their study of group behavior in organizations, particularly formal and sophisticated organizations. Anthropology. The main aim of anthropology is to acquire better understanding of the relationship between the human being and the environment. Social psychology. Individuals are influenced by the actual, imagined, or implied presence of others. It deals with how people are affected by other individuals who are physically present or who are imagined to be present, or even whose presence is implied. Political sciences. Contributions of political sciences are significant to the understanding of behavior in organizations. Political scientists study the behavior of individuals and groups within a political environment. Economics. Economics contributes to the organizational behavior to a great extent in designing the organizational structure. Transaction cost economics influence the organization and its structure. Transaction cost economics imply cost components to make an exchange on the market. There are 4 approaches to organizational behavior studies. 1. Human resources approach. 2. Contingency approach. 3. Productivity approach. And 4. Systems approach. And one more approach to study organization behavior is interdisciplinary approach. So what is human resources approach? This approach recognizes the fact that people are the central resources in any organization and that they should be developed towards higher levels of competency, creativity, and fulfillment. People thus contribute to the success of the organization. The human resources approach is also called as a supportive approach in which the sense that the manager's roles change from control of employee to active support of their growth and performance. Number 2, contingency approach. The contingency approach, or sometimes called the situational approach, is based on the premise that methods or behavior which work effectively one situation fill in another. Number 3, which is productivity approach. Productivity, which is the ratio of output to input, is a measure of an organization's effectiveness. It also reveals the manager's efficiency in optimizing resources utilization. The higher numerical value of this ratio, the greater the efficiency. Productivity is generally measured in terms of economic inputs and outputs, but human and social inputs and outputs are also important. Number 4, the system approach. The system approach to all organizational behavior views the organization as a united, purposeful system composed of interrelated parts. This approach gives managers a way of looking at the organization as a whole. Person, whole group, and the whole social system. Interdisciplinary approach. Organizational behavior is is an integration of all other social sciences and disciplines, such as psychology, sociology, organizational theories, etc. They all interdependent and influence each other. The man, the main, the man is studies as a whole, and therefore all disciplines concerning man are integrated. Organization behavior has a great impact on individuals and also in organization that cannot be ignored. In order to run businesses effectively and efficiently, the study of organizational behavior is very essential.
Good day, everyone. I am Princess May Bahar, and my task is to report about the nature of people. Nature of people, or a human nature, it refers to the characteristics that identify people. It involves thoughts, feelings, and behavior. If we talk about human or people, it includes the thought, how people think or solve problems, feelings, how people feels in a certain situation, and behavior, how people behave in a certain way. This three is part of being a human, and it made people more unique. There are 6 basic concepts relevant to the nature of people. First, law of individual differences. Each person is substantially different from all others in terms of their personalities, needs, demographic factors, and past experiences. We agree this law. Each of us is different. Each of us is unique. We are different in terms of personalities, needs, demographic factors like the birth date. Maybe there's some tendency that you can be like his or her birth date, but not mostly. Your experiences is not the same as mine, not the same as them. Number 2, a whole person. People function as total human beings. People are physical, mental, and social and spiritual beings. The physical, the outer part of human, it faces everything, so you need to look better. Physical has to do the body. Mental has to do with intellect or brain. It's what people think. Mentality helps your mind to solve your problem. Social, people know how to socialize with each other. Spiritual, people need to believe that God is existing. It can help people to be calm and doing good in his or her difficulties in life. 3. Motivated behavior. Individuals' behavior are guided by their needs and the consequences that results from their acts. By this, we need to think first. Being motivated of doing something, let's just think wisely the consequences of our action. There's a word that if you can't fail, you cannot learn. So it's better to fail sometimes so that you can be motivated in doing things.
Good morning, everyone. I am James Ryan Calongo. I'll be the one to continue the report about the topic nature of people. So, the fourth is perception. It's the unique way in which each person sees, organizes, and interprets things based on their background of individuals' differences. So, in other words, perception is how the people look and interpret someone's work. For example, if a person do good things, then the response of each viewers or someone who sees the actual happening would be a good. There are types of perception. Some of these are vision, touch, sound, taste, and smell. Then, the fifth is desire for involvement. Many employees' decisions actively seek opportunities at work to become involved in relevant decisions, thereby contributing their talents and ideas to organizers' success. In simplest terms, it refers to an individual who is actively seeking opportunities to share his or her knowledge and experiences in a certain problem or situation. It's better for a team to express each opinions and ideas for a great decision making. If this strategy happens, it can bring mutual benefit to both parties. And the last type of nature of people is value of person. People wanted to be treated with care, dignity, and respect, and increasingly they are demanding such treatment from their employers. So it means that We people wants to be treated right. We need fair treatment from someone who's in position or who are in the government. We all need to think and give importance about the value of a person because without respecting it, it seems like we also disrespect our cultures and traditions. We Filipinos are respectful. Let us continue our good attitudes for us to enhance and make our country grow. So once again, this is James Ryan Colongo. Thank you.
Good day everyone, I am Clifford Acohedo. I'm going to report the nature of organization. Nature of organization. Organization is a social system composed of people, structure, and technology for achieving common goals in a dynamic environment. In other words, organization is a human association where two or more people come together with a certain common aim and equipment and desire to achieve certain common goals through planned joint effort and teamwork. Therefore, organization is a place with certain structure where people come and work together to achieve a common goal in a changing environment. Tribe, ethnic groups, families are not organization. The three essentials of an organization are A. People, B. Common goal, C. Joint effort. Characteristic of an organization. Human association. Organization is the place where people work together to achieve the common goals. So in human association, there is always the involvement of human resource to perform a variety of activities in a goal achievement process. Common goal. Every organization has its goal. It is a common purpose which binds all the individuals and groups to contribute their efforts. So in common goal, they had only one purpose on their work, and that is to achieve their common goal. Division of work. Organization always provides the large tasks into smaller packages for easy to prompt functioning by individuals. So, in division of work, it brings everyone into specialization in their work. Hierarchy of authority. Organization has a chain of command. Under the basis of job responsibility and accountability, skills demand of the job, complexity of the job, hierarchy of authority is constructed. Flexibility. Environmental adaptation. Organizational activities direct and indirect influenced by the environmental factors. So in flexibility, it is also always formulate its plan and policies that can match the changing requirements of environment. Types of organization. We find different kinds of organization in our society. These organizations are classified according to the nature and purpose. Business organization. The organization which is established in order to make profit is known as business organization. So in business organization, the organizations that the prime beneficiaries of this are the owners or the shareholders. Non-profit social organization. The organization which are established not for making profit but for giving or providing service to the customer, clients, or community. Cooperative organization. This type of organization are established to reduce the effort of competition and maximize the value of cooperation. So, in cooperative organization, the main purpose of this organization is to fulfill the individual needs and prosperity of all members involved through collective effort. Government organization. The organization formed by the government to provide service to general public is government organization. They can be ministries, department, military, police, and more. International organization. The organization which are established by the involvement of different countries for the sake of their welfare are called international organizations.
Good day, everyone. I am Aloha Grace Kidalso, and my topic is all about nature of organization. So, what is an organization? An organization is a collection of people who work together and coordinate their actions to achieve a wide variety of goals. We have two types of organization, the formal organization and the informal organization, which is the formal organization is a system of well-defined jobs, each bearing a definite measure of authority, responsibility, and accountability. So, formal organization is an organization with a fixed set of rules of intra-organization procedures and structures. So the second one is informal organization. Is a network of interpersonal relationship that arises when people associate with one another. So informal organization is an interlocking social structure that governs how people work together in practice. It consists of a dynamic set of personal relationships, social networks, communities of common interest, and emotional sources of motivation. So these are the principles of nature of organization. First, the common objectives. Every organization exists to achieve some common goals or targets of the organization. The second one is division of labor. Overall function of an organization is subdivided into number of sub-functions, various departments. Each department is headed by a manager who is sole responsible for function of the department. Authority structure. Graded series of arrangement is an organization creates a series of superior and subordinate relationships called cabin of command. So authority structure is a responsibility associated with various positions are defined. Group of persons. Workforce of an organization constitute active environment is an organization. So group of persons, any two or more persons who or which are acting or have agreed to act together for the purpose of acquiring, holding, voting, or disposing of any stock of the corporation. Fifth is communication. Every organization have free flow of communication. So these channels of communication are necessary for mutual understanding and cooperation among members of an organization. So sixth is coordinations. Diverse efforts of various functional departments are integrated towards the common goal through the process of coordination. So coordination is the unification, integration, synchronization of the efforts of group members so as to provide unity of action in the pursuit of common goals. 7 is environment. No organization works in a vacuum. Social, political, economic, and legal factors exert influence on the environment. So environment is composed of forces or institutions surrounding an organization that affect performance, operation, and resources. Beside, is influenced by external factors like materials, machines, level of technology, economics measure, HR, and etc. Lastly, rules and regulation. Every organization is governed by a set of rules and regulation for orderly functioning of people. Again, this is Aloha Grace Cadalso. Good day, everyone.
Individual behavior.
It can be defined as a mix of responses to external and internal stimuli. It is the way a person reacts in different situations and the way someone expresses different emotions like anger, happiness, love, and etc. Individual level of analysis. Organizational behavior at this level of analysis massively draws upon psychology, engineering, and medicine. The individual level of analysis organizational behavior includes the study of learning, perception, creativity, motivation, and personality.
It also includes the study of turnover, task performance and evaluation, coordinated behavior, deviant work behavior, ethics, and cognition. So it somehow focuses on self-improvement and self-evaluation.
Group level of analysis. Organizational behavior at this level of analysis draws upon sociological and socio-psychological science. At this group level of analysis, organizational behavior includes the study of group gesture, intragroup, and intergroup dispute and attachment.
It further extended the study of leadership, power, norms, interpersonal communication, network, and roles. For an instance, in a team, you are the team leader, so you must study or observe the behavior of your group mates for you to be able to determine their capabilities and abilities. So it will somehow help you in assigning them to their tasks.
Organizational level of analysis. Organizational behavior at this level of analysis draws upon sociology and practical science. At this level of analysis, organizational behavior includes the study of organizational culture, structure, cultural diversity, inter-organizational cooperation, and coordination.
This further includes the study of dispute, change, technology, and external environmental forces. Some other fields of study that aids to the interest of organizational behavior are ergonomics, statistics, and psychometrics.
Cause of individual behavior. A person's reactions in everyday situations as well as emerging situations are influenced by individual characteristics. These characteristics are categorized as inherited characteristic and learned characteristic. Inherited characteristic, these are traits that get passed down from generation to the next generation or passed down from parents to their offspring or children. The following features are considered as inherited characteristic: color of a person's eye, religion, race of a person, shape of the nose, shape of earlobes. Learned characteristic or acquired characteristic is a characteristic we get by observing, practicing, and learning from our home, society, surroundings, and even experiences. Learned characteristics are not the things we are born with, but things we develop during our life. Learned characteristic consists of the following features. First, perception, a state of being or process of becoming aware of something through of our senses like hearing and feeling. Values, it serves as a guidelines in terms of decision-making process or even the situations that influences our perception. Third, personality, characteristic set that predicts how human behaves, think, feels, and understand. Fourth, attitudes, refers to the positive or negative attitudes of a person's behavior in expressing thoughts and emotions. There are 6 factors that influence individuals how they address the situations alone or in a group. First is abilities. Abilities is the talent that is being learned from the surroundings or inborn. Abilities are broadly classified as: first is intellectual abilities. Second is physical abilities. Third is self-awareness abilities. Intellectual abilities is the abilities that deals with mental capabilities like verbal comprehensions, excellent memory, reasoning, and so on. Physical abilities, it is the capacity to do the task that requires stamina, strength, and body coordination, like for example, walking, biking, and jogging. Self-awareness abilities, the ability that monitor our emotions and reactions on the given task.
Gender. Research proves that men and women both stand equal in terms of job and mental abilities. A factor that might influence work allocation and evaluation in an organization is the manager's perception and personal values. So here is an example situation. An organization encourages both genders to work efficiently towards the company's goal, and no special promotion or demotion is given or tolerated for any specific gender. So we can see in that example that there is fairness for both genders. Race and culture. Race is a group of people sharing similar physical feature. It is used to define types of person according to perceived traits. On the other hand, culture can be defined as traits, ideas, customs, and traditions, one following either as a person or in a group. Race and culture have always exerted an important influence both at the workplace as well as in the society. The common mistakes, such as attributing behavior and stereotyping according to individuals' race and culture, basically influences an individual's behavior. So in today's diverse works of culture, the management as well as staff should learn and accept different cultures, values, and common protocols to create more comfortable corporate culture. So next is perception. So it is an intellectual process of transforming sensory stimuli into a meaningful information. It is the process of interpreting something that we can see or hear in our mind and use it later to judge and give a verdict on a situation, person, group, or etc. Perception is divided into 6 types. First is the off sound. So it is the ability to receive sound by identifying vibration. Second is the off speech. So it is the competence of interpreting and understanding the sounds of language heard. The third is touch. So it is identifying objects through patterns of its surface by touching it. Fourth is the taste. So it is the ability to detect flavor of substances by tasting it through our sensory organs known as the taste buds or the tongue. Fifth, the other senses. So it includes balance, acceleration, pain, time, sensation felt in throat and lungs, and etc. Lastly, of the social world. So it permits people to understand other individuals and group of their social world. So next is attribution. So it is the course of observing behavior followed by determining its cause based on individual's personality or situation. So attribution framework uses the following 3 criteria. First is the consensus. So it is the extent to which people in the same situation might react to a large number. Second is the relatedness. So it is the extent to which a person's behavior can be associated to situation or personality. Third, so the framework mentioned says that it is all about how an individual behaves in situation. Next is attitude. So it is the abstract learn from reaction or say response of a person's entire cognitive process over a time span. Now we have a clear idea about what are the factors responsible for the way we behave. We never think about what these elements and how they affect our daily lives, but we can't ignore the fact that they are responsible for the way we walk, talk, eat, socialize, and more.
This assignment will test your thoughts and understanding of the topic, examine your learning capabilities about organizational behavior, and measure your comprehension about the previous discussion. We expect that after doing this activity, you will be able to know the importance and the reasons why we study organizational behavior. So this is your assignment. Briefly explain the following questions.
Good morning, everyone. Please answer your assessment. The assessment is composed of two sets. The first set will be matching type, while the second set will be multiple choice. The purpose of assessment is to gather relevant information about the student's performance or progress, or to determine students' interest to make judgments about their learning process. So here's your assessment.